Alright, today is the day that we finally finished all of 2020 bronze. This is crazy. Hello everybody, I'm Farrar, and today we are going to be doing the USACO 2020 Open Contest bronze. It's going to be epic. Alright, so why don't we get started? A terrible new disease, COVID-19, has begun to spread among cows worldwide. Farmer John is trying to take as many precautions as possible to protect his herd from the infection. Okay. Farmer John's barn is a long, narrow building with end stalls. Okay, some of them are currently occupied, some vacant. Having read about the importance of social distancing, Farmer John wants to maximize D, where D is the distance between the two closest occupied stalls. Okay, so for example, if stall 3 and 8 are occupied, then D equals 5, and okay, so 2 new cows recently joined, and they want to find out which formerly unoccupied stall they should be assigned. Okay. So so we want to keep D as large as possible, but he can't move any of his existing cows. Okay, so just right off the bat, I think we've done this before, which is why I kind of already know what we're supposed to do. But basically, the idea is we want to keep the distance as big as possible, right? So 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0. Okay, so just logically, right? We want to put these cows in the biggest gap possible, right? Because then we can spread them out more, right? Like, if we put a cow in this guy, we could put it like literally like here or here, and it'll still have a distance of 2, right? It'll be pretty far away from the other side of the gap. Same for this one, right? So if we have to put in 2 cows, right? We can either put the 2 cows in the same gap, or we can put 1 in each of the 2 gaps, right? So you can put 1 in this gap, we can put 1 in that gap, right? And that makes sense, right? Because these are the 2 biggest gaps. Or we could put 2 in the biggest gap, right? So we want to put 2 in this big gap, right? So essentially what we got to do is we got to find the biggest 2 gaps, and then find out what our distance is if we put it in those biggest gaps. So let's say we put something in here, right? Then the D would be 2, right? Because the distance originally is 4, and if you put 1 more in it, it's going to be D 4 over 2, which is 2. This one is going to be 5 originally, but we split it into 2 parts, so it's 5 over 2, which rounds to 2. Okay, then if we put 2 in the same one, right, the most we can keep them apart is 1, right? Because some of them are going to have to be next to each other. So it would be 5 over 3 is equal to 1. In this one, same thing, 4 over 3 gives us 1. Way to do if you put 2 cows in the same thing. And then of course we had to consider the edge cases, right? Like if we put a 1 here, then this distance is going to be 1. Okay, so why don't we just code this up? Today we are going to be using Python because why not? Python is epic, you guys love Python, and it's bronze, so why not? Sockets 1. Oh, we already had a sockets 1 because we did this in Java before. Sockets 42, that is much better than 1, 1. 1, 1 is lame. Okay, so why don't we read in stuff? Imp is equal to open sockets 1 dot read dot script dot split. Oh my god. Okay, /n. Okay, so our n is equal to int of the first input, and then we had to go through our string and figure out how far apart things are. Okay, so we'll just store this in a list cow ins of like where the cows are currently, and then we'll go through our string. So for I in range n, we will go through the string. So imp 1 I is equal to 1. Then we want to cowins.append I. Okay, there we go. I brain farted there. Okay, and now we want to figure out the biggest gaps, right? And like what our D would be if we put those gaps. So let's keep track of like if we put 1 cow in, and if we keep put in 2 cows. So we'll do like gap single, right, like that, and gap double equals that. And then while we go through it, we'll just go for I in range len cow in -1 because we're going through pairs, right? We want to see the distance between adjacent cows, right? Then we would just do like gap length is equal to like what? Cow ins I plus 1 minus cow ins I. Okay, and then for gap single, we would just append that over 2. And if it's double, then we divide by 3. Also, we should keep track of like the current D, right? Because we can't like increase the distance from what it already is. Like even if we put it in like some really massive gap, we put 2 cows in and the D is like 5, right? Then it doesn't matter if we already have like 2 that already are there but have a distance 4 apart. So we should probably keep track of that. So D is equal to 0. No, we want to keep track of minimum, so we'll do like big number. Okay, so D is equal to min D common gap. Alright. Now, the other thing, we had to, like, this does, okay, so, well, first off, let's sort these at the end. So gap single dot sort, gap double dot sort, and then our answer is really just going to be, like, the top 2 things in gap single, the min of those 2, right, because you have to do both of them simultaneously, right, and your D is just the definition of, like, the minimum distance overall. So if there's 2 simultaneously, you want to take the smaller one, or we want to take the gap of putting 2 in the same one. So we want to take the biggest possible D we can get. So our answer is just going to be max of like min of like what? well, gap single -1 is going to give us the biggest one, and gap single -2 is going to give us the second biggest one. And then we want to max that with gap double, the biggest one there. Okay, so now the main problem is that we're not considering like the edges, right? So how do we do that? So what is the gap for single, right? Like for edges, if they're single, what is the gap, right? So essentially, to make our gap at the beginning the biggest, we want to put our new cow at 0, right? So that would just be like the first cow that's there to 0. So that's just going to be cow in 0, right? And then for single, it's just like, you don't divide it all, but if you want to put 2, then the gap is cow ins, and if you want to split that gap, it's over 2. So cow ins 0 over 2. And then what about for the n? So that's basically going to be n minus 1, which is your last index, to the last cow, right? So that is just going to be like, what? Cow ins -1. And we want to do n minus 1 minus. Okay. And same thing for here, except we got to divide by 2. Okay, so this should theoretically work. Technically, sorting it is n log n time, so this is not the most efficient. Like, obviously, you could get the top 2 things in n time, but like, you don't need to be efficient in bronze. Sock dist 1 dot in. Alright, try it. Whoops. Dot in. Okay, so that seems to be working, right? So let's just make our file output work. Okay. Okay, let's try that. Epic, okay. Alright, so we download this guy, we open it, and we will submit. Let's try it. Oh, whoops. Am I getting roasted? Oh, wait. Okay, so something's wrong. Oh, yeah, we never used the D, so we're just gonna take min of this and D, because you can't make it bigger than it already is. Alright. And okay, so if it's an error message, it probably has something to do with the array, right? So this for sure is not out of array. I guess. Oh, yeah, like why if we don't have any ones, then that's a problem. Okay, so if len cow_ins equals 0, then we want to just like print out, you can put at either end, right? So it'll just be print string of n minus 1, or no, we want to write it. F dot write right here, and we could just make an else statement so it doesn't run the rest if that is true. Easy. Okay, let's try that. Whoops, hold up. Oh, what's not? Why is it saying that it's not? Hold up. Okay, so that's not. Hold up. So, did I put my parentheses right? Oh, nice. Okay, so this is D, and that should be fine. Okay, there we go. Okay, let's see. Please work. Come on. Stop trolling me. Let's go. Epic, 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 and even more epic. Let's go. Easy. Okay. Social distance 2. Farmer John is worried for the health of his cows after an outbreak. Okay, dude, we get it. COVID-19 is a good pun, but you don't need to keep saying it. God dang it. Despite his best attempt at making his N cows practice social distancing, many of them still unfortunately contracted the disease. The cows, conveniently numbered 1 through N, are each standing at distinct points at a long path, okay? And there's a radius R, such that any cow standing up to and including, okay, well also, okay. So he doesn't know R, and he doesn't know which are infected. Oh, he does know, okay. So, please determine the minimum possible number of cows that were initially infected. Alright, okay, so you basically get the cows in terms of their position and whether they're sick, okay? And, alright, so minimum number of cows. Wait, can't radius be like infinity though? And then it's just, oh, because, wait, so any cow becomes infected. Okay, so your R can't be too big, otherwise it would get that. Okay, so essentially you want your R to be as big as possible, such that, yeah, basically you want your R to be as big as possible, but because basically if you make your R really big, then your initial cows are fewer. You have less cows that must have started with it, okay? So finding the biggest R that works, right, is basically just finding the minimum like distance between uninfected cows and infected cows, right? Because then you just make your R that like just a tiny bit smaller than that, and then it explains why that cow did not get sick. Okay, so you got one at 1, you got one at 3, you got one at 6, you got one at 10, you got one at 7, you got one at 10, you got one at 15. And this guy is not sick. So how did that work? Okay, so essentially you know that like this guy got to be sick at the beginning, right? Otherwise there's no way to get to 10 there's no way to get to 15 without going through 10 if it came from this side, right? So essentially like the disease can only spread within contiguous groups, right? Like there can't be a guy in here that's not infected, like that would not make sense, okay? Okay, so at least there, okay, so the number of initial cows are at least the number of contiguous groups of cows, right? And then we got to bring in our like closest distance to the nearest guys. Okay. Okay, so yeah, basically you find out the closest distance between uninfected and infected, right? So in this case, the closest distance would be 7 and 3. Sorry, yeah, 7 and 10. That's what I meant. So 3. So your radius can be maximum 3. Okay. So essentially, you would just go through like you basically go through all the infected cows and see like how many groups there are if your radius is 3, right? Because so you basically go from left to right, right? You basically go, oh, this guy's within 3, all right. This guy's within 3, all right. This guy's within 3, nice. And then once you get to someone who's like 4 apart, then you're like, okay, now this must start a new group, and then you just keep going like that. All right. So what is this guy called? Sockdist2, very creative. Okay, Python Sockdist2. So how should we do this? So first, like obviously you gotta sort it, right? And then we got to find the minimum distance. Okay, yeah. So we sort it. We find like when sick guy is adjacent to a non-sick guy, and then compute the distance there. So then we find our R, and then once we find our R, we basically okay. So R has to be like 1 less than that, right? So it can't be exactly 3. It has to be 2. Okay, so let us do this. Inf is equal to open sockdist2 dot in dot read dot script dot split, and then n is equal to imp 0. All right, and then we could do imp dot pop 0, and then we could just map map a split function to each of these so that we have our lists worked out, and then sort it. All right. Well, we could probably make them into tuples, so we could just do cows is equal to map. So do we put the function first? Yes, we put the function first. Lambda x. And what do we want to do to x? We want to put split, or we could do split x tuple split x. And we'll do that to int. Alright, split, or no, x dot split space. This is confusing. Okay, so map int comma this. Alright, epic. That is very complicated, but let us make sure it works. Print count. And we'll add a file. Why is it a map function? Oh, so we want to make it a list. Okay. Hey, just as desired. Okay, and then we want to sort it. So we'll sort it and print it. Okay, nice. So it's sorted by x coordinate. Very cool. Are they guaranteed to be distinct? Yeah, distinct points, so that's good. Okay, so now we just gotta go through each pair, and if one's a 1 and one's a 0, then we'll find our r. So r is equal to, so we're trying to find minimum distance, right? So we'll make it pretty big, and then we'll just do for I in range n minus 1. And then we'll do if cows I 0 or 1 is not equal to cows I plus 1, right? Then we want to do the distance, right? So r is equal to min r comma cows I 0, I plus 1, 0, minus cows I 0. Alright, so now we basically found our r, and then at the very end we just want to do r minus equals 1, because remember, we can't have exactly that, otherwise the cow would get infected, and that would be wrong, okay? And now we just go through it and see how many groups we make. So, we will delete all the uninfected guys because they are no longer relevant, right? Right. Yeah, we could delete the other guys. So let's go through it and we'll just add these. So, infected cows, infected is equal to that, and we'll just append to it if it has it. So if cows I, oh, but it's only from I to n minus 1, so why not just do it over here. Okay, for I in range n. If cows I 1 is equal to 1, infected dot append cows I 0. Okay, and then we could just have count is equal to 0, and if the distance from the previous one is, yeah, so if the distance from the previous one is actually less than r, or greater than r. Yeah, if it's greater than r, then we add 1 to count. So it starts out as 1, and then we'll add to count if it is greater than r. Okay. Oh, we could just do like, okay, so if infected, or no, if cows I 0 minus the, oh, I plus 1, right? And then minus infected, wait, no, hold up. Okay, so infected we want to start off as cows 0, or no, hold up. So we go here, so we'll do that, and what will we do? Okay, so if len infected is greater than 0, right, then we want to check the current cow to the previous infected cow. So if cows I 0 minus infected -1, right? We want the last guy is greater than r, right? Then we want to do count plus equals 1. And then at the very end, we want to print out our count. Alright, let's test it. 3, is that correct? That is correct. And we will just take out our print and put it in file IO. Epic. Epic! Okay, let's submit this boy. Holy, why do you keep choosing C++ 11? God dang it. Okay. Hey, let's go. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Now we move on to the last one, which one of you guys asked me to solve, so should be epic. Okay. Alright, Farmer John is worried for the health of his cows. Okay, bruh, again. Why did they all start with the same thing? Okay. Has tested all of his cows and okay, and using video footage, he is able to review the recent interactions. Alright. So, okay, and he does, okay. So he has a list of who interacted. Alright. Exactly one cow started, okay. Once the cow is infected, she does, along with her next K hoof shakes. Okay. She no longer, okay. And alright, and he doesn't know which one is okay. Alright, so, bruh, what did you want us to solve? Okay, so we want the possible number of cows who are patient 0, Y is the smallest possible K, and Z is the largest possible K. Bruh, this is so troll. Okay, I guess. So essentially we're given N and T, alright, and then we have who's infected, okay. And then we have the record, okay. So in this case, what does T mean? Okay, that's how many, and we don't know what K is. Alright. So, at T, oh, okay, so first is 2, 3, so 2 and 3 shake, right? So these two. Then 2, 4 shake, right? So these two, right? So these guys are not infected, so they can't have been patient 0. I mean, so 2 cannot be patient 0. Okay, so patient 0 for sure has to be one of the infected dudes. And, alright, so it makes sense if 1 is patient 0. Alright. Okay, well, first off, this handshake thing is kind of like a tree, right? But it does depend on which order you do it, though. Huh, that's annoying. Okay. And then K, so infinity number of Ks, right? Because she only shakes with one other person. Okay. And then 1 would make sense. The smallest, right? Because she at least has to get with one other person. Huh, this seems hard. Okay. Huh. Alright, so let's just say they're the first guy, and it's like between an infected guy and an infected guy. Then, if your first one's between an infected and an infected, then the first guy who did it for sure could be patient 0. There's no reason why that could not be patient 0. So if ever, so who else could be patient 0 then? Okay, if you go from an uninfected guy to an infected guy, then can't be patient 0, right? If you go from an infected guy to an uninfected guy, it can't be patient 0. So the only way you could have a patient 0 is if it goes from an infected guy to an infected guy. Now what happens if that's a little bit more complicated and then this guy goes and shakes people's hands? Wait, how big is N? Could we just like test all of them? Oh, dude, N is tiny. What the heck, bro? Okay, yeah. So we can basically just like, yeah, and T is only 250. So we can literally just go through every possible N and see if they could possibly have been patient 0 just by going through it. Assuming that, or what could K go? Okay, so K just goes from, bro, this is a troll. Oh, so you just literally just try everything. Holy moly, dude. Okay, bruh, this is such a meme. So K, like, at least, like, max is 250. Like, it doesn't matter if it goes past 250. So, if K is equal to 250, then, like, if K is equal to T, then we know that K could be infinity. That's just how it works. But, essentially, we just go through it. Alright. Oh, I thought, this seems so hard if we're trying to legit, like, if it was not brute forceable. But it is brute forceable, so, should be easy peasy lemon squeezy. Tracing, alright. Inf is equal to open, tracing.in, and split / n. Alright, so n comma t is equal to list map int. Good dang. Okay, and then inf 0 dot split space. Epic, easy. And then cows is equal to, well, do we need to make it any fancier? Well, we could just split it, or we could just make it into an array. So for C in string, in 1, I guess, cows is equal to that. Cows dot append int C. Alright. And now we just need to read in our tuples. So we'll just pop, or we could just do for I in range 2, 2 plus t, and we'll do tuples, I guess. Alright. Handshake. Handshakes dot append imp I, or we could just do tuple map int imp I dot split space. Alright, nice. And at the very end, we just want to sort our handshake, so handshake dot sort. Alright, so we want to keep track of our min k, we want to keep track of our max k. So our int k, or k, or let's say min k is equal to like t, say, and our max k is equal to 0, and then our patient zeros, p zeros is equal to that. Alright, so now we literally just try everything. For I in range of n, right, we could just go through all the cows, then we want to go through all the t's, or no, for all the k's, right, we want to go through all the k's for k, or j in range, wait, oh, we get just do k, for k in range, t plus 1, right, we could go all the way up till t, k equals 0 does not make sense, right, oh, it is possible, okay, and then we just go through the time steps, so we'll keep track of infected, right, infected equals I, right, or we could do a dictionary of I being true, I guess. And then we literally just go through the handshake. So for HS in handshake, we will basically just say, what do we want to say? If infected, oh, so we have to keep track of times. Ah, no, okay, so we have to keep track of when they were infected. So they're infected at t equals 0, right? Oh, no, it doesn't matter. It matters how many handshakes they've done. So they start off with 0 handshakes, okay? Handshakes. So we'll make it true, right? And we'll have handshakes is equal to 0. Okay, so if HS1, infected HS1, well, I guess, oh, I guess we can make this just an array of falses times n, and infected I is equal to true. Infected HS1, then we would do infected HS2 equals true. Wait, does the first one count as being a handshake? Oh yeah, k next one. Okay, so that should be fine. So we'll do handshake HS2 is equal to 0. This is equal to true. And handshake HS1 plus equals 1. And we also have to check. And handshakes, oh, we probably shouldn't. Wait, car SHs, okay. Car SHSs, holy moly, that is complicated. And car HSs, HS1 is less than K, then infected HS2 is equal to true, that. Alright, and then at the very end, we just check if the infected match up. So, valid is equal to true for j in range n. If infected j is not equal to cows j1, or cows j, right? Make it 0 and 1. Equal 1 is 1. Alright. So if it's not equal to cows j, then then we want to say valid is false, and we would break. If valid, then we want to add p zeros dot, or we need set. Okay, so let's see. Set. Python set insert. Add, okay. So p zeros dot add I, alright. Then we would do min k is equal to min k comma k. And then max k is equal to max k comma k. Alright. And then we're just done, right? Okay. Print what? P zeros dot size, or length of set Python. Oh, len works? Okay. I'll take it. Oh, len p zeros. Min k max k. Oh, that is a nasty looking error. Okay. Tracing dot in. Whoops. This is so sad. Okay, we gotta do -1. Or should we just do it originally? Okay, whatever. We could do it here. -1, -1, -1. Alright. 113 seems legit, and okay, so if max k equals t, then we just do This is what's good about not type things. Then we can just do max k is equal to infinity. Holy moly, I love Python. Hey! Let's go. Okay, so now we can print it. Hey, let's go. Alright, let's test it. Probably not gonna work first try because I bet there are some like side cases here, but we'll see. Python, easy. Okay. Alright, we got the first one. We got non what? Oops. Whoops. Now hold up. So current handshakes. Oh, if they're already infected. Oh, that's so big brain. Okay, okay. So, okay, so we gotta be careful here, I guess, to check if they're infected. Oh, okay. So if not infected, if infected HS2 minus 1 is equal to 0, then we gotta do this. But otherwise, we want to add to its current thing. Alright. Are there any other cases where that's annoying? Okay, that should be fine. Oops, still not working. Hold up. Did I put the right one? I'm pretty sure I put the right one. Hold up. Wait, I'm literally going through every single possibility. What else do you want? Oh, dude, I'm trolling. It's both ways. Okay, it doesn't matter which direction. Oh, okay, yeah. So, else, yeah, we could just do an else. Okay. Else, and we'll just do the opposite way. 2. This should work. I don't know why I didn't realize that it could be either way, but this should probably work. Hey, there we go. Now we're talking. Let's go, hooray! Hello? Wait, what? It timed out? How did it time out? Okay, what? Well. Now that is kind of awkward. But dang it didn't time out on anything other than that one. So, essentially, yeah, this should only be 250 times 250 times 100. 250 times 2... Wait, in fact it's only 250 times 100 times 100, which is tiny. So clearly there is some trolley-polying happening. Wait, bro, they said that NT squared is fine. What's the problem here? What? Is this Python being bad? Bro, this is a troll. Good dang. Okay, why don't we just like... Okay, there's a strategy you could do to test if what's causing things to time out, so we're just gonna do that. Okay, so comment this out, and we're just gonna print the test case, right? f.write 1, comma 1, infinity. And now we're just gonna test if what we had to take out in order to make that work. So let's just try taking out this. Okay, so I doubt that's gonna help, so why don't we just undo that? Oh, what? If I get rid of this for loop, it's fast enough? What? What? How did that even work, dude? Wait a minute. Now wait just a second. What? Okay, so tracing 4 is the right one. So tracing 4 is working. So I'm just going to copy that in and see what happens. Okay, and now we need to figure out how to make this work. So right here is if it's infecting a new guy, right? So if the new guy who's getting infected should not be infected, right? We'll do cows hs2 minus 1 is not equal to 0. So inf right here, if c equals 1, inf plus equals 1. Okay, so if it's equal to 0, right, it means it should not get infected, so this is problematic that it is getting infected, right? So that means that count plus equals 1. And count starts at 1, right, because you're with 1 infected dude. If this is the case, then we want to break, right? Oh, so what happens if it breaks early and the count is the same? That is the problem? Is that the problem? Okay, then we should have said count is equal to -1 before we break, and then maybe that will solve it. Okay, and we'll put this over here as well, and we'll call it hs1. And over here, we'll just do if count is equal to inf. Okay. Okay. Moment of truth, I guess. Well, let's just check it. Okay, it works. Ah, come on, dude. This is not that hard. Okay, bruh. What? Why? What? Okay, so now random ones are not working. Why? What? I literally. Okay, so what other cases are there? So you could possibly have that. What other cases are there? How do you get the right amount of count without getting? Okay, so you somehow get ones, right? Oh, okay, yeah, right here. Okay, okay, I think we finally got it. We think we finally got it. Okay. Holy broly, dude, this is so stupid. We finally did it. So this is just if cow's I is equal to 0, then we just continue. Holy moly, dude, this is so stupid. I hate Python now. This is so sad. Dude, I don't know why I decided to bash my head. I could literally just do this in C++ in like 2 seconds, but we got the Python version working. Okay. There we go, hooray. Ah, feels good. Oh my god, it's so stupid. Bruh. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching. Wait, what? How did it speed it up by that much, dude? Hold up. Okay, I mean, sure. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe for more. Thank you guys so much for watching again, and see you guys next time.